Hello and welcome. I'm Melinda Kinlami. Tonight, fire razes two major buildings in the commercial district of Lagos Island, destroying goods and properties worth millions of naira. Senate rejects President Buhari's nomination of Dr. Joy Nune as a member representing Rivers State on the board of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC. Court orders Nigerian Army to suspend the ongoing Operation Positive Identification. And scientists endorse research that says the world is facing a climate emergency even as the United States begins process of withdrawing from the Paris Climate Agreement.
On business news tonight, Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries cuts global oil demand expectation, sees lower production in 2020.
And on sports news tonight, Federal High Court in Abuja strikes out the case of corruption brought against the president of the Nigeria Football Federation, Amaju Pinnick, and 4 other NFF officials.
And from Abuja, House of Representatives asks President Muhammadu Buhari to confer a posthumous national honor on late Dr. Stella Adadevoh.
Outbreaks took over market activities in the busy environs of Lagos Island today, raising retail and wholesale assets worth millions of naira on different properties. The clumsy nature of the buildings disturbed the combined efforts of firefighters battling to put out the flames. Our correspondent, Tempo Ashaju, has this report.
It's another hotting moment in the Central Business District area of Lagos Island as 2 buildings serving as warehouses go up in flames, but no lives lost. The first Inferno begins on this building in Martin Street, around the popular Oluwole market, where properties worth millions of naira have been destroyed.
The fire started around maybe like 25 minutes after 10. So that is all what I could say about it. There is generator there, mechanical generator, and there is a lot of fuel diesels there. I feel that can boost the fire to relate like this.
The other building is in Dosumu Street, off Tom Jones Way in Idumota. Eyewitnesses say the building is home to fashion design materials.
It's a warehouse. There's a shop downstairs. We have big shop and 2 shops downstairs. The remaining one is warehouse. But it's warehouse that they are opening morning and night every day.
When buildings like these are on fire, it can be difficult at this point to ascertain the cause of the inferno. Operatives on ground will always like to fight the inferno till the end before they ascertain the cause.
They are not yet to, but we are able to curtail the fire from spreading. We are able to localize the fire, and we are now putting off the fire. In a short time now, the fire will be off.
The only challenges we are having is that the crowd control, you can see them, and some people will like to surface their market, and from there they are disturbing us a lot.
I will see more of this in the Ember month. We're coming to the end of the year. We're meeting with all the market women, all the market men, all the associations. We're going to be doing a lot of massive sensitization as to how they can protect themselves and also protect the lives and property as well.
Lagos Island is historic for Inferno, especially at dry seasons, which is yet to begin proper. These simultaneous occurrences may be pointers for business owners to exercise caution on their assets at this time. Temple Ashaju, Channels Television.
Now, to get more updates on the situation at Lagos Island, let's go live there, where our correspondent, Loretta Chiogo, is standing by.
We've been monitoring activities here on the Lagos Island, where there's been a twin fire disaster earlier today. And of course, the fire that gutted a building on Balogun Street, that's the popular Balogun Market, had been put out very early enough. But the one here on Oluwole, that's in Oluwole Market, where it's adjacent Mandelas, that's a very popular area, on the Lagos Island is yet to be put out. And the earlier report was that for close to 9 hours now, as I speak to you, the fire service has been battling to put out this fire. And just shortly before I came on air, I was speaking with the acting head of the Lagos State Fire Service, Margaret Adesheye, who told me that in just few minutes the fire will be out. So she's here on ground with me and to give us a situation report. Margaret Adesheye, I know you've been working with your men so hard for hours now. Can you tell us what the situation is right now in trying to extinguish the fire? Because I can see you're still trying to battle and there's been reinforcement of water trucks.
Yes, we've engaged on 10-hour intensive firefighting operation at the 2 fire at a go, one at Martin Street, Lagos Island, the second one at Dosomo. Simultaneously, we are fighting the 2 fire at a go.
Can you tell us what the difficulty is? Because I did understand earlier that the fire servicemen were not able to get the fire seat. Is that the situation?
The problem earlier on was the crowd control problem. That was the constraint we had in the morning. There was crowd control problem. There were the passage was so too tight for the fire engine to move. These difficulties have brought about delay in fighting the fire initially.
So what's the situation right now? You did mention to me a few minutes before you came on air that in few minutes the fire will be put out. Is that the reason for the reinforcement of fire trucks? Now the camera can just quickly pan to the right where we see another water truck coming in. I think that's the reinforcement. You want to tell us about this reinforcement?
Yes, in a short period we'll be out here. The fire is almost out. In a short period we'll be out.
But there's a reinforcement, which means that you need more hands. Is that not the situation?
Yes, we need not more hands really. We replenish our truck, fire engine. After using the 2 truck, we'll be out.
But what exactly is the issue with the fire? Because I was here for over hours now, 2 hours now, and I saw that it's fighting back.
We have enough chemical to fight the fire. We have enough fire engine on ground to fight the fire. The situation was that early in the morning, we met on ground, the generator industrial one at the top of the building, likewise the tank full with the fuel, diesel tank.
Okay, did anyone tell you how the fire erupted? Because I've heard from eyewitnesses that a generator was on or people were just trying to, scoop fuel, refuel a generator. What have you gathered?
We've not been able to detect any, we've not gotten any information to that. Investigation is still on that.
So what is the reassurance now that this fire will go off in a few minutes?
In a few moments we'll be out here. The fire will be out.
Okay, I must tell you now that that's Margaret Adesheye, the acting head of Lagos State Fire Service, reassuring us that the fire will be put out in just a few minutes. We hope. We are still on ground monitoring this. However, in my earlier report, I did say that the building which was gutted by fire, has started collapsing. And of course, some part of it that fell with a very heavy iron rod fell on one of the policemen who was on guard here. And that was an instant death. And his body was taken away. And other traders who have been told about the fire, perhaps they never knew about it, but ran out here to find out what the situation is with their own shops. One of them fainted and was taken away. And of course, there's still full hope that she'll be resuscitated and brought back to life. But I must tell you that one of the reasons and what we have seen here is that there are lots of consumables in this particular building that fire has gutted. And these consumables are clothing. Very expensive clothing, because on this axis of Lagos Island, this is where they sell all of these very expensive laces, and clothing. So these clothing are fueling the fire the more. So we're just hoping that the firemen will be able to extinguish the fire. So it's back to you now.
Our correspondent Loretta Chogo bringing us up to speed with the situation at the fire disaster on Lagos Island, something we're monitoring really closely. We'll be giving you more updates as soon as we get them. But to other stories now. The Senate has confirmed 15 out of the 16 nominees forwarded by President Muhammadu Buhari to the National Assembly for confirmation as board members of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC. The upper chamber, however, rejected the nomination of Dr. Joy Nune as nominee representing Rivers State on the board. Our correspondent, Linda Akibe, has the rest of the story.
The Senate resumes plenary session after adjourning for 3 weeks to attend to the 2020 budget. A huge part of Tuesday's legislative business is devoted to confirming nominees for various appointments. President Buhari had sent the names of 16 nominees to the Senate for confirmation as members of the board of the Niger Delta Development Commission. The upper house, however, rejects the nomination of Dr. Joy Nune, representing Rivers State on the board.
Dr. Yembe Nguyen, member representing Rivers State on the NDC board, was absent and could not be screened. Her nomination is therefore not recommended for confirmation.
The NDDC has been at the center of controversy recently, with President Buhari ordering an audit of the NDDC following persistent criticisms of the Commission. This has called to question the thoroughness of the oversight by the National Assembly on the Commission in the last few years.
This, I think, is not an indictment of us, but I think we are supposed to worry, because we are supposed to continuously oversight wherever public funds are put for the development of our people.
The Senate also confirms the appointment of Justice John Soho as the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court and Justice Benedict Kanyep as President of a National Industrial Court.
Chairman and other senators.
Meanwhile, the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, appears before the Senate Committee on Finance to explain the rationale behind the exchange rate it used for 3 key projects under the Presidential Infrastructure Fund. Mr. Emefiele had failed to heed the committee's summons twice, prompting it to issue another invitation. But at the meeting, the CBN governor requests that discussions hold behind closed doors.
Chairman, sir, at this juncture, given the fact that the stamp duties matter and other related matters, particularly the stamp duties matter is a matter that is currently at the High Court, I would like to crave your kind indulgence, sir, that you permit us to speak off camera.
In a private meeting, the CBN governor is expected to explain why the exchange rate of 325 instead of the official 305 Naira rate was used for the projects under the Presidential Infrastructure Development Fund. Linda Akibe, Channels Television News.
The Edo State government is fingering the All Progressives Council Congress National Chairman, Mr. Adams Oshomole, for the attack on Governor Godwin Obaseki, the Oba of Lagos, and other guests at his home in Iyamo. This is contained in a statement from the Secretary to the State Government, Mr. Osarodio Uge, who describes the attack as premeditated and executed with the active involvement of the party's national chairman. He adds that the state government is demanding an unreserved and unconditional apology to be tendered to all persons who were victims of what it describes as an extremely embarrassing event. Narrating the sequence of events, the SSG says the APC chairman had on Saturday invited the governor and his guests to his country home for lunch, but on arrival, they were allegedly attacked by prepositioned thugs at Mr. Oshomole's residence. He adds that those involved in the attack will be brought to justice. In part 2, after the break, Federal High Court in Lagos orders Nigerian Army to suspend the ongoing Operation Positive Identification. That's in a moment. Stay with us.